Good morning, welcome to the van. It's Wednesday. Thought I'd do something a little bit different for you. You always see me cook pizza. I get asked quite a bit, do you sell calzones or calzones, whatever you want to call it? I don't sell them because they're a bit of a pain in the ass, but I can bake them and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's do it. What I've got here is my dough. This is just my standard Neapolitan pizza dough. This one today is 62.5% hydration. And what we're going to do, we're just going to get one out, okay? So we're going to go for this one here, and we're going to put a bit of flour down each edge. We're going to use our cutter. This is, a lot of people ask me, this is a Lily Coidroripo pizza cutter. It's 10 centimeter one, just, you can find them online. And then we're going to get a little bit of flour on the underside, straight underneath, confidently lift it up. Going to get a little pool of flour here, going to put it upside down, and we're always going to put our lid back on our balls. I always keep the lid on the balls, unless I'm absolutely slamming them out, then I don't, then I leave it off, because otherwise they will start to dry out and they'll form a skin, and then you don't want that. Anyway, let's do this. Right, so we've got our dough ball. This is upside down. Obviously we want to flip it around. This is your chance. If you want to get a round pizza, this is your moment. If you've taken it out of the dough tray and it's not quite round, you can just push it together like this to form a round, okay? But we have a round dough ball, and we're not looking to get a crust on this. We don't need to form that like cornicione that we normally would do. So I am going to just push it out basically, but I'm going to start a little bit lower. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go right to the edge with this one, because we're not looking to maintain that crust. We're going to flip it over, and again we'll just flatten it out. Like, even if you make pizza like this, if you've got a good dough, it will still rise up on the crust anyway. So we've got a nice flattened out dough. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to swipe away all this excess, and I'm still going to slap it out. So I'm going to give it a couple of slaps just to get it big, and you want to go a little bit bigger than you usually would. So now we have our dough, we have our round. So to make our calzone, we're basically just going to put the toppings on one side, okay? Now I don't have a lot of different toppings for this today, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to fill it up with, we're going to go with some cheese. So we're going to put it on this side, nice amount of cheese, a little bit of basil, some fresh basil. Just break up some bits of fresh basil in there. Let's put a little pinch of oregano in there. Go with a little finely sliced red onion, because I like red onion. And I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll put some Nduja in there, because this doesn't need a lot of heat to make it melt. So we'll just put some little pockets of Nduja in there. Okay. And wipe my hands, and a little bit actually of pecorino. Okay. So that's our filling. We're not going to put any sauce on this one, okay? You can put sauce in it, but what we're going to do now is we're just going to fold this over. So if you have a look, I'm just going to fold this over, and so it lines up, okay? And just line it up together. Now, obviously you've got like a double thickness of dough here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just, like, you can do a pretty fold technique, stuff like that, but essentially it's not Cornish pasty. We just, you know, you just want to like slam it out. So I just want this to be sealed, okay? So I'm just going to use my fist, and I'm just going to really slam it out. Now if you look at that, that's now sealed, okay? The problem we've got is there's going to be a lot of air in there that when I bake it. So what I actually want to do is I'm just going to create a teeny little hole just in the middle there, and that's going to allow all the air to escape. We're going to spin it round. Okay, we're going to just make sure it's nice and thinned out. Okay, we're going to push those toppings just down into it a bit. Okay, and that's moving around on the surface. Okay, that's sliding about. Going to get our peel. So we've got our pizza peel here, and I'm just going to pull it onto the peel, and you're going to follow the contours of the front of the peel. Okay, now at this point, I like to put a little bit of sauce on top, and that's the reason I've sort of flattened this out, is so it's not going to just spill off to the edge, and we're only just going to put a little bit of sauce on the top. Okay, and this is going to stop it burning, and it's going to make it that little bit saucy. So it's quite a thick sauce. You don't want to have too thin a sauce, because otherwise it will just fall off. Okay, but you don't need a lot. A little bit more, just on that edge there. Okay, and a little bit more pecorino on top. Okay, and that is ready for the oven. We're going to go towards the oven. We're not going to go too deep into the oven. Oven is running at 448 degrees. So we're just going to get it in there and we're just going to plonk it to the back like that and down. We're going to turn it down to a low flame. It is on low flame. Usually I'd cook this like a little bit closer without the arch as well, because it's sort of the arch, the neo arch, this bit here makes this oven a bit of a beast. So we're just going to check the base. We're getting a nice clook. So we're just going to cut underneath and we're just going to give it a spin. See that? We're getting a really nice little bake on it. And the reason I've got it on low flame, 437 degrees now, the 440 mark, is I just want this to cook low and slow. You know, you've got a lot of dough there. It's like double thickness of dough basically, so you need to cook it out. If you blast this at like 500 degrees, 480, in 70, 80, 90 seconds, you're just going to end up with a rawness inside. And you see it's starting to puff up a little bit. So we're just going to turn it again, check the underside, getting a really nice colour on the underside. And I wouldn't worry about overly colouring the top of this just yet. But if you see it's puffing up, you see where there's no sauce, it's really puffing up. Yeah, if I hadn't have put that sauce or that little hole in it, it would have just ballooned up. So now I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. Been in probably about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. And we're just going to start to colour it now. Really nice colour on the underside. Just want to keep an eye on it. Obviously try and keep it kind of in the sort of same spot. So like try not to move it too far over to the flame side, otherwise you are going to get a little bit of a crispy bottom or a little bit too crispy. So at this point the underside is actually cooked, so I'm just going to like raise it off the floor on the peel, and I'm just going to bring it, spin it around, make sure I'm getting a nice cook on it, and I think I'm basically done. A little bit more just there and we're done. So that's it out of the oven. Let's put it in a box. So straighten our pizza box down here. Okay, so this is our calzone. It's not finished yet. You see we've got on the underside, we've got this beautiful colour on the underside, and it's got this really nice crunchiness on the top, this sauciness here. Now I know that this is cooked 100%, but what we're going to do, we're going to finish it. I'm going to make it look a little bit prettier. Okay, so usually you'd want to cut this and then then fancy it up, but actually yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to cut it. So because it's got meat inside, I'm going to use the red one. I'm just going to cut it down the middle. Okay, and then we're going to finish it with a little more pecorino. Little torn fresh basil on top. And a little finish, a little flourish of some olive oil, just to give it a bit of a shine. And that is our Neapolitan calzone done. Let's check it out. A nice bit of lighting, looks amazing. Let's see if we can open this up for the inside. See, it's all cooked out nicely in there, and in there you just got this melty deliciousness. And you can just pick it up and you can eat it like that. But I'm going to show you another slice of over by the crust. Let me just slice this bit open. You can see it's all nicely cooked out in there. The dough's cooked out. You've got that double thickness of dough. If I rip this open, look at this. See, just because we cooked it that little bit longer, a little bit lower, a little slower, and you've got this beautiful calzone. Let's give it a taste. That's a banger. So that's it. That's how I cook a Neapolitan calzone in my Gosney dome. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care, bye.